Hey, hello to my beautiful Solvasa community. This is Dr. Kristen jumping on here again with a few resilience building tools for COVID-19. I think one of the things that I have really been struggling with over the last week is uncertainty. I'm a type A person. I like to plan everything. I like to have control over everything. And this uncertainty brings a lot of anxiety for me. And I think it brings anxiety and stress to most of us. The fact is that anxiety and stress thrive on uncertainty. And I can't think of a more uncertain time in our lives than what we're going through right now. We don't know what changes tomorrow are going to bring. We don't know what changes next week or next month they're going to bring. And so it's important to have tools to combat the uncertainty that we are all experiencing. And I wanted to focus on a few of those today. I think when we can focus on the things we can control, it gives us a sense of power back, and it can ease that stress and that anxiety that comes with the unknown. So number one, let's start with self-care. Self-care is something we have to prioritize right now, and it's something we can prioritize right now. Some may have more time on your hands than you're used to having because you're not shuttling people around from place to place. You're not engaging in all these social events. You may be working from home. So take advantage of that time to get adequate sleep. This is going to be huge for staying healthy, to exercise regularly, to get outside in nature, to practice some mindfulness, to be intentional about connecting with others. So think about the ways that you are taking care of yourself and prioritize that. This also can lead to a great way to connect with people during this time of social distancing. So as an example, with all of my kids' extracurriculars being canceled, all of a sudden we have significant time for family dinners every night. At least right now, they're not having to race to get homework done or things like that done. That may change, but we're really trying to use that time to have intentional discussions about what's going on, to share good things that occurred to us over the course of the day, to play silly games, but using that time to really connect and enjoy them as a family. Another thing that I'm trying to be intentional about when it comes to connection is exercise, but actually using that exercise to connect socially. So getting outside, going on a walk, a hike, a jog with someone that doesn't live in my house, obviously staying a safe distance from them, but this provides an opportunity for some of that social connection. And this is what my 16-year-old daughter has been doing. She started hiking. I never was able to get her to hike before, but she's hiking every day with friends because it allows for that social connection in a very healthy way. And you might even be able to add in more of this during this time. Maybe you can do a morning walk and an evening walk and arrange those walks with different people that you'd like to connect with. Another thing that I'm looking to for connection is a way to connect with extended family and people maybe that don't live right around me and could use a little bit of extra connection right now. So my sisters and my parents and I are doing a nightly Zoom call each night. So we can jump on, we can see each other's faces, we can hear about the day. We're doing it at a time where my kids are around so that they can engage with their grandparents, using that as a time to connect as well. Another way that we are connecting is through Marco Polo. I don't know if any of you know or have heard of Marco Polo, but my daughter calls it Snapchat for old people. So that kind of tells you maybe a little bit about it, but it's basically like a video walkie-talkie, and you can set it up with a group of friends so you can make little silly recordings, tell them what you're up to, talk to them, and it's almost like a live conversation going back and forth in some really fun ways. So think about the ways that you can be intentional about connecting, because we're going to have to get more intentional about how we connect right now. And then the last thing I wanted to share was something that's been really therapeutic for me. And this comes from one of my favorite quotes from Fred Rogers. And the quote is, "When I was a boy and I would see scary things in the news, my mother would say to me, 'Look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping.'" And that has resonated with me always in times of crisis, but especially right now. I guess it was close to a week ago now, when this stuff was really building up and I was feeling really anxious, my daughter said to me, "Mom, you should really use all this mindfulness stuff that you do to help people get through this." And I thought, well, isn't she a wise old soul? But I am lucky because I feel like there are a lot of tools and a lot of strategies that I can provide right now to help people. And diving into that has been super therapeutic for me. It reduces my anxiety. It allows me to find good in my day and to take joy in being able to help others right now. So think about the ways that you might be able to help others, or that your kids might be able to help others right now. It's another way to come together as a community. Maybe we have to get more creative about it because this is pulling us apart in many ways, but it allows us to come together as a community to be supportive. So think about how you can prioritize these behaviors. This is going to be huge in terms of your self-care, which is going to help you build resilience to everything we have going on, and is also really going to boost your immunity. So one thing that I have been, in terms of my self-care, engaging in, I was doing this regularly. Now I find myself doing it about every 5 minutes, is a little bit of this across the forehead, just to ease that tension. Doesn't look very good when I do it on video, but I'm telling you, it feels really good. It's a great brain break, and yet another way to build resilience during times of stress. Stay well, stay healthy. I'll be back here Friday at noon with more tips for my Silvassa community for building resilience during COVID-19.